Ethan Harper had always considered his life ordinary. He lived in a small apartment in the city, worked as an engineer, and spent his evenings reading books or watching old movies. His routine was simple, and he liked it that way. Life, to him, was predictable. But that night, everything changed. It began with a strange dream. Ethan found himself standing on a cliff, overlooking a sea of stars that seemed far too close, too bright. The stars pulsed like they were alive, and in the distance a figure walked toward him. It was a woman. Her hair shone like silver threads, and her eyes glimmered like the stars themselves. When she smiled, Ethan felt an unfamiliar warmth in his chest. "Ethan," she said softly, her voice echoing in his mind. "It's time." Ethan woke up with a start. His heart raced. He rubbed his eyes and tried to shake off the dream, telling himself it was just his imagination. Yet the warmth lingered, a strange sensation he couldn't explain. For the next few days, things grew stranger. Ethan began seeing flashes of light at the corner of his eyes. His computer screen would flicker, showing images of galaxies and strange symbols he didn't understand. Sometimes, when he walked down the street, he felt like he was being watched, though no one was there. Then one evening, as rain poured outside, a sudden flash of light filled his apartment. The air shimmered, and for a moment Ethan felt weightless. He stumbled backward, gripping the edge of his table. And then, standing before him, was the woman from his dreams. She was real. Who are you?" Ethan stammered, his mind struggling to comprehend what he saw. The woman smiled. "I am Lyra. I am your wife." Ethan froze. His mouth opened, but no words came. "My wife? That's impossible. I'm not married." Lyra took a step closer. Her presence was calm but powerful, almost magnetic. "Not on this earth, but in another galaxy, in a life you do not yet remember, we are married. And now, it is time for you to return to me." Ethan blinked. "Return? What do you mean? This is insane. You can't just—" She held up her hand, and suddenly, a small light appeared in the palm. It grew brighter and shaped itself into a delicate ring, shining with colors he had never seen before. It was the same ring he had found in a box months ago, tucked away in his closet. A ring he had dismissed as a gift from some unknown source. "This is proof," Lyra said softly. "You gave this to me once, in a life before this one. And now, the time has come. The universe needs us, Ethan." Ethan's mind reeled. Every logical part of him wanted to deny it. He wanted to call someone, to leave, to wake up from what must surely be a hallucination. And yet, his hand itched to touch the ring. His heart raced, as if recognizing something long forgotten. "Why me?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Why would the universe, or you, need me?" Lyra's eyes softened. "Because humans are special, Ethan. Your creativity, your courage, your ability to adapt, these qualities exist in few beings across the galaxies. And right now, the galaxy we come from is in danger. Your life here prepared you for this moment, even if you did not know it." Ethan shook his head, trying to make sense of her words. I can't just leave. I have a life here. My work, my friends. Your life is important, yes," Lyra said gently. "But think of the lives across the stars that depend on you. Think of the people who are waiting, the worlds that need hope. You can make a difference, Ethan. You always could. You just need to remember who you are." Ethan looked at her, really looked, and something deep inside him stirred. Memories he didn't recognize flickered through his mind. Images of planets, strange cities, a life filled with adventure and love. He felt a tug, a pull toward something, far beyond the walls of his apartment, beyond the life he had always known. "And if I say yes? What happens?" he asked, his voice trembling. Lyra smiled. "Then you will see the universe as it truly is. You will remember your past, meet allies, learn skills you did not know you had, and help protect worlds that depend on your courage, and you will come home with me." Ethan felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He had spent years dreaming of adventure, of something beyond the ordinary, and now it was standing before him. He could stay in the comfort of his apartment, in the safety of what he knew, or step forward into the unknown, into a universe full of possibilities. He took a deep breath. "Okay," he said finally. "I'll go, but I don't know if I can trust any of this." "You don't need to trust yet," Lyra said, reaching out her hand. "You just need to come." Ethan hesitated, then placed his hand in hers. The moment their fingers touched, a surge of energy passed through him. The room seemed to vanish, replaced by a swirling tunnel of light. He felt as if he were being lifted from the earth itself, soaring through a river of stars. The sensation was exhilarating, terrifying, and beautiful all at once. Time lost meaning. Colors and shapes flashed around him, and he felt memories slipping into his mind. Memories of battles fought across galaxies, of friendships and bonds with beings he could barely comprehend, of love so deep it transcended worlds. He gasped, overwhelmed but somehow felt complete. Finally the light faded, and Ethan found himself standing on a platform that floated in space. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, and strange ships hovered nearby, their designs unlike anything he had ever seen. Lyra stood beside him, calm and radiant, as if she had been waiting for this moment all her life. "Welcome to your new reality, Ethan," she said softly. "This is the place you belong, the place where your true journey begins." Ethan looked around, awe and disbelief battling inside him. He wanted to speak, to ask questions, but words failed him. Instead, he took a deep breath, feeling the enormity of what he had just experienced. Where are we?" he finally managed to ask. "This is one of the safe havens," Lyra explained. "A place for humans and allies from many worlds, to gather, train, and prepare. But it is only the beginning. Soon you will see why the universe brought you here, and why it brought me to you." Ethan nodded slowly. Fear still lingered, but so did excitement. He realized that life, the life he had known, was behind him now. Ahead was adventure, mystery, and a purpose greater than anything he had ever imagined. And, most importantly, he was not alone. Lyra smiled and squeezed his hand. "Rest now, Ethan. Tomorrow we begin your training. You will learn things that will change everything you thought you knew about yourself and about humanity." Ethan looked out at the endless expanse of stars, feeling a sense of wonder and possibility he had never known. He didn't know what awaited him or if he was ready for it, but for the first time in his life he felt that he was exactly where he was meant to be. The night passed, and Ethan dreamed again, not of Earth, not of ordinary life, but of galaxies, starships, and worlds beyond imagining. And when he awoke, he felt ready to face whatever came next, because for the first time he understood one truth: humanity was extraordinary, and now he was part of something far bigger than he had ever imagined. Ethan could hardly believe what had happened. Just a day ago he had been living in his small apartment, drinking coffee and worrying about minor deadlines at work. And now he was floating among the stars, holding hands with a woman who claimed to be his wife from another galaxy. Lyra led him through the glowing platform, which seemed to stretch into infinity. Strange lights pulsed beneath their feet, and ships of unimaginable shapes hovered quietly in the distance. Some looked like giant birds made of metal and light. Others resembled shimmering crystals moving slowly through space. "This is incredible," Ethan whispered, his voice barely carrying in the vastness. I can't even imagine." Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the sparkling stars. "And yet, this is only the beginning. There is so much more to see, so much more to learn. Humans rarely travel beyond their home planet, but you, Ethan, are different. You are capable of understanding things that others cannot. That is why you were chosen." "Chosen?" Ethan echoed. "Chosen for what? I don't even understand any of this yet." She guided him toward a ship that glowed like liquid silver, Its surface rippled as if it were alive, reflecting the stars around it. As they approached, Ethan felt a strange pull in his chest. He realized he was already imagining himself inside it, piloting it, exploring worlds he had never known. "This ship will take us to your first destination," Lyra explained. "A world where humans are training alongside other species. You will learn how to survive in the galaxy, how to use technology that seems impossible to Earth minds, and most importantly, you will remember who you truly are." Ethan hesitated for a moment, looking at the stars stretching endlessly. Fear gnawed at him, fear of the unknown, fear of leaving everything behind. But another feeling surged stronger than fear: excitement. This was what he had always dreamed of, a life beyond the ordinary, a chance to be part of something extraordinary. He stepped forward and entered the ship. The interior was breathtaking. Panels of light shifted and responded to his movements. Seats molded to his body automatically, and a soft hum filled the air, calming and energizing at the same time. Lyra took her place beside him, her hand on his shoulder. "Hold on," she said softly. "We are leaving Earth." Before he could respond, the ship lifted smoothly, and in an instant, Earth was no longer visible. They moved faster than he could comprehend, passing through streams of light that bent and curved around them. Time and space seemed to blur. Ethan felt as if he were inside a dream. Ethan woke early, the soft glow of Solara's twin suns spilling across the floating platforms. Each morning brought new lessons, new challenges, and a growing awareness of his abilities. But today, something felt different. There was an energy in the air, a tension he could not name. Lyra noticed it immediately. "Ethan," she said softly, taking his hand. "Today, you will learn the truth about why you are here, about why we are together, and about the danger that threatens everything we hold dear." Ethan's stomach tightened. He had faced alien ships, strange technologies, and tests of skill. But her words carried a gravity he had never felt before. What danger?" he asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Lyra led him to a chamber at the center of the floating city. It was enormous, its walls made of a translucent material that shimmered like water. Stars and distant galaxies rotated slowly behind the walls, giving the sense that they were suspended in the heart of the universe itself. Inside, a holographic display activated. Planets, stars, and constellations moved across the room, and a figure appeared, a massive entity composed of shadows and shifting light. Its presence was overwhelming, yet it felt aware, intelligent. "This," Lyra said, her voice steady but urgent, "is the cosmic entity we face. It seeks to control minds, to spread its influence across galaxies. Entire civilizations have fallen to it, but humanity is different. You, Ethan, are part of that difference." Ethan stared at the figure, fear mixing with disbelief. "Control minds? Why would it care about me or humans?" "Because humans are rare," Lyra explained. "Few species have the creativity, courage, and resilience to resist it. And among humans, some, like you, carry a unique potential. Across lifetimes, across galaxies, we have fought to resist this entity. You and I have always been part of this struggle." Ethan's mind reeled. "Fought across lifetimes? I don't understand. We know each other from before?" Lyra nodded. Her eyes were gentle but intense. "Yes, Ethan. We have always found each other, no matter where we were reborn. In one life, we were explorers, discovering new worlds. In another, we were protectors, defending civilizations. And now, we are together again because the universe needs us." Ethan felt a strange stirring in his chest. He remembered flashes of other lives, images of alien skies, battles he could not have fought alone, moments of triumph and loss that felt impossibly familiar. He realized that even without remembering fully, a part of him had always known Lyra. But why now, he asked. Why is it happening in this life? "The entity grows stronger with each cycle," Lyra said. "It has learned, adapted, and spread across galaxies. Your memories, your experiences, and your human ingenuity are essential to stop it. If we do not act now, it will eventually reach Earth and every other world that can resist it. Ethan swallowed hard. The thought of Earth, the place he had lived his entire life, being threatened by something so vast and unknowable, made his chest tighten. But beneath the fear, a determination began to grow. He had seen what humans could do, how they could adapt, create, and overcome. Maybe, just maybe, he could make a difference. Lyra reached out and touched his face, a gesture of comfort and connection. You are ready, Ethan. You have already proven yourself in ways you do not yet understand. Today, you will meet others who will help guide you. Together, we will form a team capable of resisting the entity. They left the chamber and descended to one of Solara's floating gardens. There, a group of humans and alien allies waited. Some were tall with shimmering skin and eyes like liquid silver. Others were smaller, their forms delicate but agile. Despite their differences, all shared a sense of purpose, a quiet strength that Ethan immediately felt drawn to. This is your team, Lyra said. Each of them has faced trials just as you have. They understand what it means to fight for more than themselves, and now you are part of that. Ethan stepped forward, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. I don't know if I'm ready, he admitted. I've learned some things, yes, but I've never fought anything like this entity. I don't even know how. A tall man with a calm voice smiled. None of us knew at first, but courage and creativity are as powerful as weapons. We will teach you, guide you, and fight alongside you. You are not alone. As the days passed, Ethan trained with the team. They studied alien tactics, explored technologies beyond Earth's imagination, and simulated encounters with the entity. Each exercise tested his intellect, reflexes, and ability to adapt. He discovered skills he never knew he had, strategies, quick thinking, even subtle ways to influence energy and technology using only his mind. Through it all, Lyra remained by his side, guiding him, encouraging him, and gently reminding him of their shared bond. At night, she told stories of their past lives, of moments when they had succeeded and when they had failed. Each story strengthened Ethan's resolve, reminding him that love and courage could endure, even across lifetimes. One evening, after a long day of training, Ethan and Lyra stood on a platform overlooking a sparkling lake suspended in the sky. The twin suns had set, leaving the stars to reflect in the water like scattered jewels. Do you remember anything yet? Lyra asked softly. Ethan shook his head. Pieces, fragments, a feeling that I've been here before, that we've been through this together. But it's hard to hold on to. Everything is so new. Lyra nodded. It will come in time. Memory is only part of it. What matters is what you do now. Your actions, your courage, your humanity. These are what define you. The entity cannot understand or predict them. That is our advantage. Ethan gazed at her, feeling a mix of awe and love. He realized that their bond was not just romantic. It was part of something larger, a connection that could influence the fate of galaxies. The thought was overwhelming, but also exhilarating. The next day, Lyra led Ethan to a hidden chamber beneath Solara's floating city. There, a massive artifact hummed with energy. It was a crystalline structure, swirling with colors that seemed alive, responding to their presence. This is the memory nexus, Lyra explained. It can restore fragments of past lives, reveal truths, and strengthen the connection between you and me. But it is not simple. You must face your fears, your doubts, and your weaknesses. Only then will you remember fully. Ethan stepped forward cautiously. As he touched the nexus, waves of memories flooded him. He saw entire worlds, alien civilizations, battles fought and lost, victories celebrated. He saw himself and Lyra together, countless times protecting life, exploring the stars, loving one another. Tears filled his eyes. It was overwhelming, but also beautiful. He finally understood the depth of their connection, the importance of their mission, and the role humanity played in the galaxy. When the vision ended, Ethan collapsed to his knees, exhausted but alive. With new understanding, Lyra knelt beside him, holding him steady. "You remember," she whispered. "You are ready." Ethan looked up, determination shining in his eyes. "Yes," he said firmly. "I understand now. I can do this. I will do this. For you, for humanity, for every world that depends on us." Lyra smiled, a mixture of pride and love. "Then let us begin, Ethan. The entity will not wait, and neither can we. Your journey, our mission, it is only beginning." For the first time, Ethan felt completely certain of his place in the universe. He was no longer just an ordinary human from Earth. He was a vital part of something vast, something extraordinary. And together with Lyra, he would face the challenges ahead, ready to protect not only their bond but the countless lives that depended on their courage. The stars above shimmered with promise, and Ethan knew that no matter how dangerous the path ahead, he was ready. Humanity had a role to play, and he was determined to live up to it. As they prepared to leave for their first mission, Ethan felt a thrill unlike anything he had ever known. This was no longer a dream. This was real. And for the first time, he truly believed that he and all of humanity could make a difference in the galaxy. Ethan woke to the soft hum of Solara's floating city. Today was different. There was a tension in the air, a sense of anticipation that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. Lyra noticed it immediately, her calm eyes scanning the horizon. "Today you face your first trial," she said, softly taking his hand. "It will test your mind, your courage, and your creativity. Humans have a unique strength, your ability to adapt and think beyond what seems possible. Today, you will show it." Ethan swallowed hard. The past days had prepared him, training with alien technology, learning languages, and understanding interstellar tactics. But this felt real, dangerous. He wasn't just practicing anymore. Lyra led him to a massive training arena suspended in the sky. The platform was circular, glowing with soft light, and surrounded by a shimmering force field. Around them, other humans and aliens watched, their expressions serious. Some had years of experience, some were like him, still learning. "This trial is called the Labyrinth," Lyra explained. "It is a simulation, yes, but it tests your ability to think creatively, to act under pressure, and to lead. Many have failed, even the most skilled." Ethan felt a flutter of fear. "Why me? I'm just learning." Lyra smiled. "Because humans are special. You don't just follow rules. You find solutions. You see paths others cannot. And today, you will prove it." The doors of the arena opened. A swirling vortex of light appeared, pulling Ethan inside. When he stepped forward, Ethan woke before dawn, the pale light of Solara's twin suns spilling over the floating city. Today was no ordinary day. Today, he and the team would leave the safety of training and face their first real mission. Lyra was already waiting. Her eyes were steady, her presence calm, yet Ethan could sense the weight of what lay ahead. "Are you ready, Ethan?" she asked. He took a deep breath. "I think so, but what if I make a mistake?" "You will not be alone," Lyra said. "Remember what you learned in the labyrinth. Your courage, your creativity, your humanity. These are your greatest strengths, and your team will be with you every step of the way." The mission was simple in words but dangerous in reality. A nearby planet, Aloria, had been targeted by the cosmic entity. Reports indicated that the entity was attempting to corrupt the planet's inhabitants, bending them to its will. Ethan's team was to intervene, protect the people, and neutralize the threat. The team gathered at the ship bay, a group of humans and alien allies united by purpose. Ethan felt a surge of pride as he looked at them. Each of them had trained for this moment, but he knew that his unique perspective as a human would make a difference. The ship lifted smoothly, gliding through the stars with a silent grace. Ethan stared out at the galaxy, his mind racing. This was real. Lives depended on them. Mistakes could cost more than pride. They could cost everything. As they approached Aloria, the planet appeared peaceful from a distance. Lush forests, vast, oceans and towering mountains stretched beneath them. But Ethan knew better. He could sense the subtle disturbances in the energy fields, the unnatural movements of the skies. Something was wrong. The ship entered the atmosphere and the team deployed. Ethan landed lightly on a platform near the capital city. Immediately, they noticed the change. The people moved strangely, their eyes glazed, their actions mechanical. The cosmic entity had begun its corruption. Lyra turned to Ethan. This is your first real test against the entity. Use your mind, observe, and act. Humans have a unique way of seeing possibilities. That is why you were brought here. Ethan nodded, feeling a mixture of fear and determination. He stepped forward cautiously, observing the citizens. Unlike the others, who relied on weapons and force, Ethan began analyzing the patterns in the corruption. He noticed small inconsistencies, slight pauses in movement, subtle hesitations. The entity's influence was powerful but not perfect. Follow me, Ethan whispered to the team. We don't need to attack blindly. There's a way to disrupt it. Using his Earth-born problem-solving skills, Ethan devised a plan. He guided the team to the city's central energy hub, a massive crystalline structure that seemed to feed the entity's influence into the population. The path was dangerous. Security systems, energy barriers, and corrupted citizens blocked their way. But Ethan's creativity and quick thinking allowed them to navigate the obstacles efficiently. When they reached the hub, Ethan examined the crystalline structure. This is the source, he said. If we can disrupt the energy flow, we can free the people. The team began working together. Lyra and the alien allies controlled the barriers, while Ethan manipulated the crystal using both his mind and the tools he had learned to use during training. The crystal resisted at first, pulsing with dark energy, but Ethan noticed a rhythm, a pattern in its vibrations. Focus on the pulse, he instructed. We need to interrupt the pattern without breaking it completely. The entity will notice. If we destroy it outright. Hours passed as the team worked in tense silence. Ethan coordinated their movements, adjusting strategies as new obstacles arose. His human intuition allowed him to see solutions the others missed, combining logic and creativity in ways that turned the tide. Suddenly, the crystal emitted a blinding flash. Ethan shielded his eyes, feeling the energy surge around him. When the light faded, the corrupted citizens blinked, confused but free. The influence of the cosmic entity had been disrupted, if only temporarily. The team cheered quietly, relief washing over them. Ethan felt a thrill of pride, not just for himself, but for humanity. He realized that human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability were powerful weapons, even against forces far larger than themselves. But there was no time to celebrate. A deep rumble shook the city, and the sky darkened as the entity's presence manifested in a shadowy, shifting form above them. Its voice echoed in their minds. "You think you can stop me, human?" it said, a voice full of menace and intelligence. "You are weak. You are nothing." Ethan stood tall, feeling fear, yes, but also determination. He had faced impossible trials, adapted, and overcome. He understood now that humanity's strength was not in brute force, but in courage, creativity, and hope. "We are not weak," he said firmly, "and humans will never give up." The entity unleashed waves of energy, testing them, trying to break their resolve. Ethan quickly analyzed the patterns, noticing weaknesses in the attacks. Using the city's structures and the team's coordinated efforts, he devised a way to channel the energy safely, turning it back against the entity's projection. The battle was intense. The entity attacked with speed and cunning, trying to outmaneuver them. But Ethan's mind worked quickly, combining logic and intuition, using the environment, and coordinating the team with precise commands. Lyra fought beside him, her skills unmatched, her presence steadying him. Finally, with a coordinated effort, they forced the entity to retreat, at least temporarily. Its shadowy form dissipated into the sky, leaving the city calm once more. The people were safe, their minds free, and the threat for now had been contained. Ethan collapsed onto a nearby platform, breathing heavily, adrenaline still coursing through him. Lyra knelt beside him, her hand on his shoulder. "You did it," she said softly. "You led, you thought, you acted. You proved that humans have something the galaxy cannot ignore." Ethan looked at her, overwhelmed by emotion. Pride, relief, love, and a deep understanding of his role in the universe filled him. "We did it together," he said. "I couldn't have done it alone." "You are human," Lyra said, smiling. "Your mind, your courage, your determination, these are what make you special. Today, you showed the galaxy why humans matter." The team gathered around them, sharing quiet celebrations. Aliens and humans alike recognized Ethan's contribution, seeing that his unique perspective had been key to their success. For the first time, he felt the weight of responsibility, but also the pride in knowing he had made a difference. As the sun rose over Aloria, casting light on the city they had saved, Ethan felt a deep sense of purpose. He was no longer just an ordinary human from Earth. He was a vital part of a larger universe, a defender of life, and a symbol of humanity's potential. That night, as Ethan rested beside Lyra, he reflected on the battle. He realized that courage, creativity, and hope were as powerful as any weapon, and he understood that humans, even one human, could inspire change across galaxies. "Tomorrow," Lyra said, her voice gentle, "we will face more challenges. The entity will return stronger and more cunning. But you are ready, Ethan. And humanity is ready." Ethan nodded, feeling a surge of determination. He looked out at the stars, shimmering with infinite possibilities. He knew the path ahead would be difficult, but he also knew that he was not alone. Together with Lyra, the team, and humanity itself, he could face anything. For the first time, he truly believed that humans could shape the fate of galaxies, and he was ready to continue the fight, whatever it might bring. The stars above glimmered, like watchful eyes, and Ethan felt the power of hope, courage, and human ingenuity in his heart. The journey was far from over, but he knew this. No matter how vast the universe, no matter how powerful the enemies, humanity's light could shine anywhere, and he would be part of it. The battle was over. Aloria's skies were calm once more, and the people moved freely, no longer under the shadow of the cosmic entity. Ethan stood on a hill overlooking the city, Lyra beside him, both of them watching the sunlight glint off the rooftops and the crystalline towers. He felt a strange mixture of pride, relief, and uncertainty. The universe had opened itself to him, in ways he could never have imagined, yet now he faced the hardest question of all. Where did he belong? Lyra placed her hand gently on his arm. "You have done more than anyone could have imagined," she said softly. "You led with courage, with intelligence, with the heart of a human. The galaxy owes you a debt it cannot repay." Ethan nodded, staring out at the horizon. "I know, Lyra, but Earth is my home. My family, my friends. They're there. And now I've seen what humans can do across galaxies. I don't know if I can choose." She smiled, understanding the conflict in his heart. "You don't have to choose now, but you must think carefully. The universe needs humans like you, not just as soldiers, but as leaders, as innovators, as connectors. You could bridge worlds. You could help prevent wars, help civilizations, understand one another. That is what your role is." Ethan took a deep breath, remembering everything he had experienced. The cosmic entity's attacks, the citizens of Aloria who had been freed, the teamwork and ingenuity that had saved countless lives, and most of all, Lyra. Their bond was real, undeniable, and unlike anything he had ever felt on Earth. He thought of the nights on Solara Station, of floating among stars, of learning to wield alien technology, of feeling human determination manifest in ways he never thought possible. He thought of the labyrinth,